Hey everybody, welcome to my 23-week bump date. Today I'm going to be sharing how I've been traveling, how Bob's been traveling, and a belly shot update. So if you like the sound of this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really supports my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and tap the bell to get notified. I upload these bump dates every single Monday. So let's get straight into it. Holy dooly. I've got 3 symptoms that were my big symptoms this last week, and that's what I'm going to be sharing. I was kind of hoping, if you've watched my last bump date, that some of my symptoms was because of overtiredness. I have had another really busy week of work because we have all come on day school. There's no more online learning, which is such a blessing, but at the same time such a readjustment to my schedule. A ginormous symptom that seems to be at the forefront of my memory, which I actually forgot to put in my last video, but is kind of funny, is baby brain. This has just hit me out of nowhere. I felt like my memory was really good until about last week, and I was going to mention it in my update last week, but I completely forgot about it. And then this week it's been even more prevalent in my everyday living. I've lost my keys multiple times. I've lost my debit card, so thankfully I have Apple Pay on my watch, and I've locked my card so that if anyone does find it, they can't use it, but I've lost that. I've lost jumpers and shoes and work stuff. I am losing things all over the place, and I can't find it to save my life, which is really frustrating actually, because I just want my brain to be working normally. So baby brain has been a very big symptom that has happened this week. I'm still getting heartburn this week. Like I said, it could be from overtiredness, but I'm also experiencing heartburn if I bend over. I feel like compressing Bob gives me a surge of heartburn, and sometimes depending on where I'm sitting, so if I'm on an office chair at work or if I'm sitting at the dinner table, the angle in which I'm sitting at can sometimes give me heartburn. If it's really late at night and I just need to eat, I'll get heartburn. So there's a couple of patterns that are starting to occur when it comes to my heartburn. So it's not just overtiredness, but I'm feeling that overtiredness is not helping my case. Stay tuned for next week's bump date. I'm really hoping that I can say that my heartburn has disappeared. This week I am feeling so much bigger, and like I said in my last bump date, people are greeting me by acknowledging the increase of size, asking me if I have twins and all that sort of jazz. So that hasn't disappeared, but it's getting to a point where I'm feeling a lot more stretched, and because of that I am starting to apply lotion on my stomach. Now, a bit of a backstory is I have stretch marks. I've had 2 full-term pregnancies. With Amira, I got my first round of stretch marks. I was applying creams onto my belly, and I think I'm just prone to it. I don't know if it's a genetic thing or whatever. I honestly don't care about it. They do get lighter with time, and so pretty much by the time I was pregnant with Zoe, they were such a skin color that you wouldn't even notice it. And I'm not someone that shows my midriff anyway, so the only person who sees it is me and Mick, and I'm happy with that. He's not going to judge me for it. The second time round with my pregnancy with Zoe, I was really surprised because my stretch marks didn't expand in quantity. They just expanded in quality, I guess you could say, because they expanded on the previous stretch marks, so they just became longer, which I'm thankful for, because my pregnancy with Zoe, I was getting bigger, and I'm happy that I didn't get more stretch marks, I just got longer stretch marks. So with all of that aside, with this pregnancy, I am trying to be proactive again when it comes to my stretch marks and applying some ointments. I remember saying, but I can't for the life of me remember where or if I read it, that if you mix aloe vera and coconut oil together, it's a good preventative or helper with stretch marks. I have some aloe vera plants, and I'm just waiting for them to get to a state where I can chop it and get the insides out. But my sister has blessed me with some coconut oil. Every time I'm getting dressed, either in the morning for work or at night to get into my jammies, I'm rubbing a bit of coconut oil on my tummy. I don't know if this is going to help at all. So here comes my question of the day. If you have used some sort of ointment and it's worked for you, whether or not it's prevented stretch marks or it's just helped with the itchiness, I've noticed this week I've gotten really itchy, I think, with my skin expanding, then please comment below. I'd love to hear what you've used. Have you used coconut oil or cocoa butter or whatever? I really want to hear from you to see what options are out there. The other thing that is, I guess, connected to my growing belly is my belly button is definitely starting to change shape. I have noticed that it is becoming more stretched. It's not so concaved anymore, and that I think probably by the end of this pregnancy, it will either be completely flat or even popped out. I've never popped out in any of my pregnancies. If you've popped out, could you also comment below, because I'd love to know if that does happen or if it's just something I've seen in movies and I don't know where I've gotten it from. That's my 3 big updates when it comes to my physical changes this week in my 23rd week. I have another OBGYN appointment, but it's not until next Wednesday. And I know something that is going to be coming up for me is also my diabetes test. With restrictions, they had changed the testing so that you didn't have to wait around in the waiting room at the pathology. Otherwise, if I am going back to the old system of testing, I will have to go to the pathology place, have a blood test, drink glucose drink, wait an hour, do a blood test, and wait another hour and do a final blood test. So I'll have 3 needles done. I'm not a fan of needles. I don't know about you, but even being pregnant and people saying that's the thing that gets you over needles, it still is a big thing for me, and I am a little bit anxious, but at the same time I know the benefits of being tested, because if I am diabetic, then I want to know how I can help both me and the baby and just to keep going. So I don't have a bad feeling that I'm diabetic. I don't know if you do. So if you've had gestational diabetes, let me know if you had a feeling that something was up or if you were just told by your test results. Now it's time for Bubby's update. This one is so good in relations to me being a 90s kid and relating to the length of bub. One of my apps said that the length of bub is the same size as a Barbie. Another app, which is the What to Expecting app, said that bub is the size of a Furby. Having grown up with both Barbies and Furbies, I feel like this is a really good way to picture why I'm feeling so much more, why Mick is feeling so much more, is because Bub is getting really big. I was reading in one of my updates that the statistics of Bub living Earthside at the moment is about a 16% chance, which is good, and I'm not trying to prepare myself for anything, but it just shows the development of all the organs and just the way that this child is being knitted within my womb, that things are 100% progressing, which is really, really cool. The weight of Bub at the moment is the size of a mango. So for us Aussies, mangoes are everywhere, and it's one of our favorite summer fruits. So the 500 gram mango, once again, is a really good anchor point for me to really just understand how big and chunky Bub is getting and why therefore I'm feeling so much bigger and experiencing so much things like exhaustion, etc., is because this human life that I am supporting and nurturing and growing is really starting to become the little Bub that I am going to be holding in my arms in 3 months' time. When it comes to Bub's movements this week, I'm not getting the same knee-jerk reactions of kicks and punches because there's room to do it. It's more so a lot of little intentional movements like rolling or like skimming. I'm getting a whole heap in my rib cage at the moment, and especially kind of like in the middle of my stomach where my belly button is. If Michael puts his hand there, he's guaranteed to feel something, because I'm sure that's where like the arms and the feet meet. They're pretty consistent. It's not really one-offs anymore, it's just a constant. The big kicks and the big punches, they're more so one-offs, and they happen at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day. I'm feeling that Bub is definitely resting on my right side, so under my rib cage I'm feeling it a lot, and it seems to happen when I'm teaching, I think because I'm sitting down. So a way that I'm trying to help Bub and myself to get through a work day is I sit on an exercise ball. That way I can bounce up and down and have a bit more movement. But Bub is definitely up in my right rib cage, and when I'm driving I can always feel Bub's presence in my lower right pelvic area. There's always kind of like a bit of a pressure sitting there. It wouldn't be a Bek bump date if I didn't show you my hand and foot comparison of how Bub is traveling compared to when it's going to be earth side. The app that I use for this is Ovia Pregnancy, and I love it for this one reason alone. Really nice to start picturing it in my head. So the hand comparison for this week, it's definitely starting to get really big. This is the first week where the fingers are starting to actually go into the finger areas, which is amazing. And their foot comparison. No wonder why I'm feeling so much movement under my rib cage. That is a decent sized foot to be kicking around your insides. So I'm going to finish this video today by showing you my belly shot update. But before I do, if you have enjoyed watching this bump date, please give it a big thumbs up because that really supports my channel. Don't forget to hit the red subscribe button if you haven't done so, ready to join us on our rainbow baby journey. I'd love to hear what your answer for question of the day is, so comment below saying hi, answering the question, just ask me anything. I'd love to get to know you as well, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rulebook, we only have each other. Stay tuned until the end screen because you can view our most recent upload.